Did you go trick-or-treating?
Trick-or-treating. Sure didn't. I am 29. I don't think it's appropriate.
I'm sure you got nieces and nephews.
Yeah, but not here.
Oh, okay.
All my nieces and nephews are in San Jose.
Yeah, I don't think people are too old for trick-or-treating, especially when they got like little nieces and nephew, cousins and little brothers. And it's people forget that it's Halloween. It's trick or treat,
Yeah.
so you can trick people as well. So that could be the fun.
You were
part.
one of those kids who would trick people, wouldn't you?
So how was your weekend?
It was good, you know. I just got back from Liverpool, so that was fun.
I love Liverpool.
Do you? It was my first time there, and I love the accents. I think it's because I'm low key obsessed with Patty the Batty. I just love his haircut. He's such a character.
Yeah.
And so when I went there, I just felt like I was immersed in that culture. Also, Liverpool is so much more fun than London.
Oh
It's
yeah.
just a lot more lively. I feel like people in London are much more reserved and
Yeah.
they keep to themselves. Liverpool, everyone's so friendly.
Yeah,
Everyone's so nice.
I love them. They're the niggas of England. Real talk. I love them.
So you think Vietnamese people are the
I
black
think
people of Asians
They the niggas of Asia
and people from Liverpool?
are the niggas of England. I love them.
That's
I
hilarious.
love me some niggas.
Yeah. Why are they?
Oh, who,
In
the
your-
Liverpool?
Yeah.
Oh, cause they got slang. They make up their own slang, and just the way they carry themselves. They have a different swag, the way they dress.
Yeah.
And I ain't gonna lie, man. Like they rob motherfuckers, man. Just like black folks be doing. They be robbing. I don't trust a motherfucker from Liverpool.
Yeah.
Hell no. I got beat out of millions of dollars from somebody from Liverpool.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, doing what?
He was my
Gambling
manager.
or oh.
He was my manager, motherfucker. He scammed me. When he first started managing me, he had me invest in some real estate. This motherfucker showed me this 100-year-old apartment building, and I was like, wow, I need to start investing my money. And I was fighting the UFC, so I was making money hand over fist because I was fighting a lot, and I was like, yeah, I need to invest this money. And he showed me this building and showed me all the paperwork. And I invested $500,000. Just gave him $500,000. I thought he was my manager. And it was good. And then I didn't notice that he was scamming me until like years later. Cause
That's always how it happens. It's
Yeah.
an audit or like you're waiting for a return on something.
he was
or
like the
something.
credit crunch, mate. Because when the economy had hit a long time ago, it's
In
the,
like 08.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly what happened. He was like, oh, it's the credit crunch. I was like, what the fuck? And then later on, I bought like my dream house at the time in Ladera Ranch. I put my name on my pool. I had a dope ass motherfucking crib. I love the crib. The reason why I bought that house because when you walk in the front door, you were still outside and had a casita to the left.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, man, I love this house. I didn't even want to live that far south. And long story short, this motherfucker was helping me with my finances, hooked me up with like a financial advisor type dude.
Another guy to help
Him
scam
and they was
you.
in on
Yeah.
the fucking scam, and I put my house in like my business name. Had me set up a business. I put my house in my business name, and later on I found when they stole my house that they scratched my name off the deed and put the name on it. They put his name on my business. Oh man, he stole my house while I was living in the motherfucker, and that house I paid like I can't remember, probably like 1.5 cash because
Back in those days, that's the equivalent to what, like a $3 million house now,
Oh,
if not more.
by the time I lived in the house for 7 years. By the time he sold the house, it was worth probably almost $3 million, and he sold it for $800,000 while I was living in it.
So how did you find out that he sold the house if
I
you were
was out
already
of
living in it?
I was out of town. I can't remember where I was. I was out of town doing something, and I had my cousin there watching my house, and my cousin like, "Cuz somebody came to the door and said, get the fuck out to your house." I was like, "What?" He explained everything to me. I'm like, "What the fuck?" And I hired a lawyer, and it cost me more money to try to save my house, and I couldn't even save my house.
That's insane.
Yeah, I stole my.
Have you ever spoken about this publicly?
I don't know.
That's a crazy story. How did
Yeah.
you meet your manager?
I met him the first time I went to Ireland. Right after I won the belt, I went to Ireland. No. Let me back up. I met him one time. I was my first time going to England to do a seminar with this guy that worked for Monster Energy, Hans Molenkamp. And we got scammed. The guy that we were supposed to do the seminar for, he ran off with all the fucking money.
Yeah.
And so I just kicked it, and the guy was like, he was a real nice guy. Like, yeah, mate, you can do the seminar at my gym. Like, I'm over seminar. I hate seminar. I just wanted to go to England.
Yeah.
And I thought he was cool. Me and him got the same birthday. So anybody got the same birthday as me.
Gemini.
Yeah, like birthday brother. You know, I would never fuck nobody over. I thought that, you know, everybody just, you know, got the same birthday. I thought he was like me, just like me. He was funny. He was cool as fuck. And we became cool. And then I saw him again when I went to Ireland, and he was there at the fights and stuff. And we became cool on that trip. And then I fired my manager that I had before him, because I can't really talk about that. I can't talk about that one because I got sued for that one. And so I hired him straight out of the, you know what I'm saying, the frying pan to the fire.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Also, you're not going to get sued for telling the story, right?
Not this one. Not with this manager want to sold my house.
The Liverpool guy.
Not with the Liverpool. Okay. I won't get sued. I won't get sued.
Okay,
I won't get sued for him. I wish he would have sued me, because him and his whole team and everybody, they was like, kind of like making fun of me because they thought I was dumb because he ripped me off. But it wasn't that he outsmarted me. He outhearted me because he was like my friend, and I kind of like trusted him.
You just assumed the best.
I assumed the best, and but these
Your birthday
guys,
brothers.
Yeah, these guys, they told me a lot of their secrets. Like, I know some shit. If I said some shit, it would ruin his whole family. He told me some fucked up shit, and I'm like, and I was thinking like, why would he tell me all these deep, dark secrets and why he's fucking me over?
Yeah.
And then one time I said something about it, and I got a mysterious email from, I don't know how you do it.
Yeah.
He called me, you fucking grass. You know what a grass is?
No.
Like grass, it's like a snitch.
Oh.
And I was like,
is that how they say it?
Yeah, grass.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. He's like, I was like, how in the fuck am I? How is me being a snitch worse than what the fuck you did to me?
Yeah, you fucking crook.
You fucking crook. So I just thought it was funny. Like, what people don't understand about me, at the end of the day, is only money. I was going to, you know, eventually like give that house to my kids or whatever and stuff like that. But, you know, I made more money. I don't really give a fuck about money, but it's just that I really did like these group of people. But it taught me, don't trust people from Liverpool. A guy from London was talking to me out there, and he found out I was hanging around a bunch of people from Liverpool. Yeah. He was like, watch your wallets, mate. Watch your wallets. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I have a friend who lives out in London, and when I told him that I was going to Liverpool for Halloween, he's like, what? Why would you do that? Don't do that. And I went, and I had an amazing time, luckily. Nobody scammed me out of money this time, which is great. Yeah. I was there, in and out, and saved myself $500,000.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, which is great.
That's great.
Sorry about your house.
Oh,
but, you know,
it's been gone for a long time. I let it go. I still have some really good friends out there. There's a lot of great people. Like, I'm joking when I say I don't trust nobody from Liverpool. I do trust a few Scousers. They're really cool. One of my friends, he's like head security over like almost all the nightclubs in Liverpool. So last time I went there, he took me on like a little nightclub tour. Yeah, I love how the women dress out there. I love Liverpool.
It's a great place to be. I'm glad I went, but let's go ahead and get started a little early with Am I the Asshole?
Let's do this.
So this week we have, am I the asshole for not having dinner ready when my fiance gets home from work?
Damn right. She the fucking asshole. Is it a woman?
Yes, it's a woman.
She the asshole.
Yeah.
In the story.
I knew you'd feel this way. Okay, so I am 38 weeks pregnant and have been a stay-at-home mom. And I've been staying home from work until my maternity leave is up. So she works, but she's on maternity leave right now. My fiance still has to work until our daughter is born. He gets home from work around 4:30, and I usually have dinner done around 5:30, 6 o'clock. So when he comes home, I'm usually starting dinner. This has been my routine since I have been home from work, and usually he'll mention to me that he's hungry when he gets home, as he doesn't eat anything except a snack while he's at work. But some days he'll just won't eat anything at all while he's at work. I have offered to pack him lunches, sometimes with leftovers, but he always rejects them because he doesn't like to eat. Before I moved in, he would just order food for himself for dinner, but now he waits until I have dinner done. Well, today he came home and asked if I could make sure that I start having dinner ready when he gets home instead of waiting for her to cook. Yep, That's it. I explained that it's too early to have dinner prepared and that he's the only one who's hungry at this time. We also have a 4-year-old daughter and feeding her that early isn't very practical. He said how he talked it over with his coworkers and they all say how their wives have dinner on the table ready for them when they get home, and how he's tired of coming home hungry and having to wait sometimes over an hour to be fed. I said that it wasn't my fault that he chooses not to eat throughout the day and he's just gonna have to snack because I'm not cooking dinner that early. He got defensive and started making me feel like I was being the asshole, but I feel like I didn't do anything wrong. Let's see. He also made a comment about me being home all day now that it is reasonable to believe that I can have dinner ready and that it isn't much of an excuse.
I don't want to sound biased.
I already know where you're going with this.
But I feel like she the asshole. So she's not working right now. I understand what's 36 weeks?
36 weeks is, divide that by 4, what is that? 8 months?
Oh,
is it? I'm bad at math.
What the fuck?
I'm bad at math.
Don't mind you bad at math?
Hella bad. Oh my god. Because I'm not the type of Asian that's like book smart. You know?
Okay.
I'm sketchy smart.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm very bad at math. Sorry.
Okay, I'll let you off. Because I can't play basketball, so I'll let you off.
You know, we have shortcomings everywhere.
Yeah. So he works. He don't eat at work. That's kind of. He probably trying to watch his figure. You know, he could snack, but I'm gonna tell you this: when I was married, when I came home from the gym, my food was ready. And when you're hungry, and you know you don't want to wait, especially when you have a wife at home that you're providing for, and she's a stay-at-home wife. It's kind of like I'm at home I'm at work busting my ass and stuff like that, and she's at home taking care of the kids and stuff. Which is, I don't want to disrespect any stay-at-home moms, but you know I've been a single dad. It's not a lot of work. It's not really hard work. Honestly, it's not. You can delegate it. You're your own boss. It can be a handful. It depends on what type of kids you have, but it's really hard on your mental, and it kind of make you despise your wife if you come home and you kind of like talk to her about it, like, look, babe, can you have some food ready? Like, I understand that the 4-year-old don't want to eat at the same time. She can make the job easier. Keep the little 4-year-old food in the oven for a little while longer. Feed your husband that's providing for you and taking care of you.
Can I be completely honest right now? I don't want to agree with you, but I agree with you 100% because I was that husband who would come home from a 12-hour shift, and I had my ex-boyfriend in not even our apartment. It was my apartment that he moved into because something happened with his family, and he'd just be playing video games and doing nothing else. And I would come home so fucking furious because I'm just like, what are you doing? Could you please do something?
Did you talk to him? Did you say, listen, when I come home, I want some food ready and the place clean? Did you like explain that to him?
You know what? To be completely fair, the first, I want to say 6 months, I didn't say anything because I think it's because I just felt like I assumed that he was a fully functioning adult at that point in his life in the same way that I would be. Because if it was me, I would understand, oh, he's probably going to be very tired, going to be very hungry. How can I make his life easier now? If you are providing everything else for me and I'm literally doing nothing, why don't I have the time to clean a studio apartment? Why don't I have the time to make sure something is ready for you when you get home to eat? Not even necessarily out of I feel obligated, but it's the nice thing to do. Like, thank you so much for providing everything else. I got to do whatever I wanted today.
Yeah, but
here's a meal.
You gotta understand, like, people, like men, I can't wait for women to learn this. We can't read your mind. A closed mouth don't get fed. So you need to have like
I just feel so bad asking for things.
No, it's just how you do it. You got to use psychology on people.
You're absolutely right, but I used to feel so bad and so guilty for asking for things that I needed ever since I was a child. I think it's because I got yelled at so much for asking for basic needs. I felt like I had to be self-sufficient. So now into adulthood, I don't like asking people for things. But the more self-sufficient I am now that I'm older, the more resentful I become when people can't read my mind, even though I know it's my fault. I know it's my fault for not asking you to do this, for not telling you.
Right.
But I also feel like if you're an adult male, you should know that there are certain things you should be doing.
Yeah, we should know a lot of shit. But, you know, the thing is, like, when our spouse, our girlfriend, or, you know, tell us, it's better. You know, for men, I feel like if you just lay it out for us and you tell us exactly what you want and stuff like that, then we can, like, agree with you or say, all right, maybe, you know, let's do it this way, something like that. So at least, you know, he knows, you know, what's expected of him. But honestly, yeah, most men, we're not geared to have food ready for you when you get home, stuff like that. But if he's living at your place and not working and stuff like that, and you come home, he got to understand you don't want to come home from 12-hour shift to a messy place and you're hungry and stuff like that.
And he's not even pregnant. At least this lady in the story is pregnant.
Yeah.
And she's got a daughter. So she's doing something throughout the day.
Yeah.
I still do think that she should be a little more accommodating to him. I just, not even as like, oh, I'm a wife, so I have to do what my husband tells me to. But I think if you love someone, don't you want them fed? But at the same time, why doesn't he want to eat all day?
Right. I think after he voiced it to her, she should have said, okay, babe, yeah, you're right. And she should have came up with a compromise. I think her compromise was snack at work.
Yeah.
And, you know.
But he didn't want to eat, because what if he's fasting?
Right.
Because you fast.
Right.
A lot of people do that now. But also, what type of job does he do? I think this also depends. If he's doing a manual labor job and he's trying to stay fit and he's intermittent fasting, I can understand coming home hangry as fuck and just wanting a hot meal right as you enter the door. Yeah. But if he's not doing a manual labor job and he also refuses to eat throughout the day, I mean, you're a grown man.
Let's think about two things that we're overlooking. One, the most important thing is that his friends are talking about how, like, guys, we brag about our wives and our girlfriend. Oh, my wife does this. When I come home, my wife is looking good for me and she got my food ready and stuff like that. And you know, you might not want to lie. Some guys don't want to lie and then be like, fuck, yeah, my wife don't do that. So that could, you know, be a big factor. You know, he's hearing it from his guys. Just like women talk, when y'all talk about y'all relationships, we talk and we brag about our woman, you know, it's part of the culture. And the second thing is maybe he don't want to eat outside of the house because food out there is unhealthy.
Yeah.
And, you know, got a lot of chemicals and a lot of bullshit in it. And so maybe he want to eat home-cooked meals. A lot of people like that. I'd rather eat at home.
When guys talk to each other about their wives and their girlfriends, is there a hierarchy established between you guys of like, oh, like this guy's wife has everything on lock. She always looks good, always keeps the house clean, like never a problem. And then this guy, like, oh, his wife's always nagging at him, never does anything. Is there a hierarchy that you guys put each other in after that?
Oh, for sure. And it also depends on how much you like the guy.
Oh, okay.
If you really don't like the guy,
then it doesn't matter.
Well, no. If you don't like the guy, then you want to one up him with your.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah, and hopefully some of my friends, I hope they don't be watching this shit, but some of my friends, they be having like relationship problems, and I know you know me from some of my you know me better than a lot of other people. Now you see how I like to help my friends with their relationship. One of my friends,
you're kind of a guru.
I try.
I'm not gonna lie, you're kind of a guru. I don't always like your advice, but I think there's a lot of like good information in it. I just don't want to accept it.
I'm not perfect when it comes to relationships and stuff like that. But you know, it's all about it all boils down to respect. And some of my friends, they tell me what's going on with them and their girlfriends, and I'd be like, damn, I'd be feeling so bad, and I want to tell them exactly what to do, but I know most people, they won't take your advice, and so I just go to saying like, hey, you're better than me. This is what I would do. I would, I go, and so when guys say I'm at work and I'm talking about, yeah, when I come home, my wife got my food ready and this and that and everything's good and stuff like that. And especially if she's a housewife. And then I hear this guy talking about, oh, I got to wait an hour for this. Well, I'm going to be like, oh, damn, bro, you better get that shit in check. And that's what bothers me. When, especially, it depends on if you respect that guy or if you don't like that guy. It depends on how you take it. So if this guy don't like me and I'm telling him like, oh damn man, you got a bullshit wife, man. You better get her in gear and stuff like that. Then we'll come home and take it out on the wife. Like, man, you got to get this shit in gear. It all depends on how you feel about the guy that told you as well.
See, with girls, I noticed that we do this thing where, because at first, I think we've had this conversation before, women start at 100 and then men lose points with us over time. Whereas with men, it starts at 0 and we gain points with you over time. We start off talking about the guy that we're seeing or a boyfriend or a husband, and we speak about them so highly. And then over time, as they like kind of fuck up a little more, usually just like human, normal relationship things. But we've painted such a picture of you to our friends of, oh, he's amazing. He is a gentleman. He pays for everything. He makes me feel so feminine. I feel safe and protected and provided for. As like little bullshit kind of adds up, we know what our friends are going to say. So we just keep it to ourselves and we don't say anything until we know we're ready to leave you, or if the relationship is absolutely over.
Well, that's a smart thing to do because
we refuse to say anything, because now I may have forgiven you for this thing. My mom didn't forgive you, my best friend didn't forgive you, my sister didn't forgive you, my fucking 70-year-old favorite coworker Dolores didn't forgive you.
Maybe you like that, but a lot of women do that. A lot of women badmouth their men and just make him out to be the devil, and the woman playing the victim. And a lot of times, you don't know who fault it is, but the girlfriend's always going to take the girlfriend's fault, right? And then she forgives the man, get back with him, and the girlfriends hate him.
I can't do that. I feel like at a certain point, I want you as my friend to be able to vent to me about your problems. But if you're going to stay with that man, there's a point where I'm like, you know what? As long as he isn't being abusive towards you, you need to keep these things to yourself. You got to pick and choose when you vent to me, because I'm going to tell you should probably leave him.
Right.
Or like, this isn't a good relationship. You're not happy. He's not happy. You should probably break up. And now I'm sitting at a table at dinner with him trying to pretend like I like him, and I don't.
Yeah. That's a big problem. I see that a lot. And another thing I see a lot, like marriages ending over something that can be worked out.
Like what?
Like people like something like what you just brought up, like she's pregnant and is the 4-year-old's his? We don't know, right?
They say that they have a 4-year-old together, so I'm assuming it's theirs.
Yeah, so these days the dude would be thinking about divorce because he got to wait an hour for dinner. Like something as simple as that, something that could be fixed. You know what I'm saying? Before I decide to divorce my wife over something like that. Not saying that that's what they're talking about, but just saying, like, in general, like I read a lot of stories where people talk about divorce over anything. Girlfriend and boyfriend, oh yeah, break up. But divorces, I think people should, as long as the man is not beating you up or abusing your kids and your family and stuff like that, I think you should probably try to work things out. Yeah. That's how I feel.
I think it's one of those things where I feel really hesitant to get married. I want to get married one day, but I feel like less and less people are getting married now, just because the aftermath of divorce is so laborious that they'd almost prefer to stay in like a just boyfriend and girlfriend status rather than take it to the next level and actually get married. I think the only time it really matters for you to get married is when you have kids, and there are like certain spousal things and certain like things that have to do with you and the kids, and what happens if one of you guys die, where do the kids go, stuff like that makes sense with marriage. But if it's just you two, I almost rather not be married.
Yeah, I think, in my opinion, I think we should take the government out of marriage. I don't think that the courts and government and stuff like that, I think it should go back to how it used to be. You just go to a church or whatever, and in front of your peers and your family, have a preacher or priest if that's what, and you get married, and you have some paperwork say that you're married, and the wife takes the last name, so the kids can have the same last name as their parents, and God forbid you get a divorce, you and her mediate, and if she's these are modern times, if she has a job and she makes money and stuff like that, and you make money, you guys split up, and you guys go 50-50 on the kids, pay for everything for the kids. But if she's a housewife and she don't work, yeah, you continue to take care of her fairly. But I think the problem is why there are less people getting married is because of the laws and stuff that's involved. Like even me, I just finally finished my divorce, and it
just finished it?
Yeah, and it took 18 years.
Why?
Because I married a woman from Japan, and
did it have to do with visas and stuff like that?
I think I was scared to finish the divorce. So I'm gonna make the story short. I got married, and we had to do the whole what you call it, the interviews and all this stuff. Yeah, because she was from another country, and I felt like, and we got divorced. Well, she filed for divorce maybe like a couple of weeks before our first anniversary.
Oh, so it was under the year.
It was under the year, so I felt like, and she had my son. He was 6 months old, and so I didn't know if they was going to kick her out of the country.
Yeah.
She came back and she wanted to cancel the divorce, but I was like, nah, I'm about to fight Chuck Liddell. I'm about to, make the most money I've ever made in my life, blah, blah, blah. And you just want some money. So she said she approved, so she signed like a post nub. And so we just got separated. And after my fight, I just wanted to focus on my fight. So after that, I was going to come back and finish the divorce. But my manager at the time was like, oh, I don't know. She got just getting the visa and do all this stuff. The immigration, they might think it was a fake, wedding, and you can get in trouble and kick her out of the country and stuff like that. And I didn't know at the time that she was pregnant with my daughter. She didn't tell me. I had no idea. So when I found out she was pregnant, stuff like that, I just canceled it. And we co-parent for years, and then recently, during COVID, I just said, let's just go ahead and finish it, get a divorce.
Enough time has passed.
Yeah, enough time has passed. Let's go ahead and finish the divorce. So I filed for divorce in 2021, and it just got finished maybe a couple months ago.
That's crazy. It took that long.
It took that long.
The green card marriages are so common with Vietnamese people. A lot of my cousins here in the States, just like born and raised in San Jose, they will get messages through their mothers from people in Vietnam, like wealthy families in Vietnam, very, very wealthy families, saying, my daughter wants to move to the U.S. Our family wants to move to the U.S., but we don't have any family there that can sponsor us or like create like the right passages needed to get us into the country. So our only option is for marriage. We will offer you X amount of money to marry our daughter, be together for a certain amount of time, just enough for immigration to be like, okay, she's cool, she's fine, she can stay. And then the daughter can bring the rest of the family over. And they will pay out crazy amounts of money.
Is that illegal?
I think it's definitely illegal if you get caught. Definitely illegal.
I take two.
You take two? Okay.
One for me and one for my dad.
Yeah, okay. I'll get the applications going for you. But I remember when I was younger thinking that was so insane because my uncle at the time, he's the youngest of his siblings. He must have been maybe 24. He got an offer. I don't know what the girl looks like either, but she basically offered my grandmother, hey, if you get your son to marry me and stay married to me for a certain amount of time, I'm willing to give you a grandkid if that's like what you want, because he's the youngest boy, and I think my grandma really wanted a kid out of him at that time. So she was like, okay, I can give you a grandchild with your son if you want it. If that's not what you want, that's fine. Still create like however much money you want, we'll give you.
How much money are they talking?
I think at the time we were trying to figure out how much something like that would even go for. So I think they just threw the number out like 20,000. And my family isn't well off. So it was like, they're like 20,000. They're like, yeah, And they said yes a little too quickly, so they're like, wait, we could get more out of this. But I've heard of families offering like well over a couple six figures for it.
I'll be a gigolo.
And I was just like, what? That's crazy. And I remember looking at my mom once, maybe 2-3 years ago, like, if me and this boyfriend doesn't work out, maybe this is a good option for me, you know? Yeah. Go get an arranged marriage somewhere, make a bag.
I dated
and then
a girl
that
did that. She tried to keep it away from me, and I found out.
She was already married
not in when that I situation, met her,
or
not when I met her.
She's trying to do this while you guys
while we was together. She ended up, and I kind of found out, and she kind of came clean. Mm-hmm. I was like, "You fucking this guy?" Mm-hmm. She's like, "No." I'm like, "Whatever. I don't know." Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She's like, "No, we're just married." Yeah. I just know what side of the bed he sleeps on, and like what type of toothpaste.
She said they didn't even sleep in the same room, but you know, I never went to her house.
Mm-hmm. You never went to her house?
No.
I Are you the type of man to have like women always come to you instead of you coming to them?
Well, they prefer to come over to my house, but this girl so happened to be Asian, and
just so happened.
Just what?
Nothing.
I'm tired of that. I don't only date Asian girls. They just so happen to be my favorite. Yeah. I found out what it is. It's not just Asian. It's brunettes.
Oh, so you like brunettes?
I like brunettes. That's my favorite.
Oh, okay. It's not what is it about brunettes?
I don't know. I just think they
just look something about them.
I think they look exotic.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah,
I feel the same way about blonde men. Yeah. But I found out recently, apparently, a lot of women find it embarrassing to be with blonde men because they think it's a very feminine trait, which I don't understand. I always thought that blonde hair, blue-eyed white guys were really exotic because I didn't have many of them around me growing up, so I saw Paul Walker and thought he was like the most exotic thing I've ever seen, and so now I have a thing for blondes.
Yeah, but blondes,
I keep that to myself.
I like some blonde. I like all girls, but I found out
you just like other girls a little more.
Well, yeah, I found out I like brunettes the most, but lately I've been looking at a lot of black girls. Mm-hmm. I've been
good for you.
I've been back into
made your way back home.
Yeah, back to black girls. They
back to your roots.
They just, I'm just saying, this is mixed company, so I gotta say, they just throw it back differently.
Mm-hmm. They have more to work with.
No, not even that. The one I'm talking about, she ain't got no badunkadunk.
Oh, she knows how to use what she's got.
She just throws it back. I'm like, damn.
Do you know how to catch it?
Oh, hell yeah. Okay. hey, I got 41 years of experience.
You're right. Some people don't, some people don't know how to catch it,
That ain't my problem.
You can only throw it back so much before you're like, you know what? I don't feel like I'm in good hands. No, you're not catching it.
I'm telling you, guys.
It's not working.
Guys, I'm telling you, if you haven't smashed a black girl, I'm telling y'all, try at least one time before you get married. I'm telling you, they be throwing it back. And I forgot because I've been all over the races, all of them. And
you were the United Nations for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think all the major ones throughout my life, You got to try variety.
Yeah. See, my favorite thing now is I feel like all of my black girlfriends are with white guys now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? Now you guys are coming back. Yeah, you guys are coming back around.
We coming back. I'm going to tell you why I stopped dating black girls for a long time. The attitudes. It's like it was a lot of attitudes. A lot of times, from my experience, the black girls that I've dated, in the beginning, most of them would test you to see if you a punk or simp or something like that. Excuse me. And you have to pass the test. And some of them, it takes longer to pass the test, and then they show out in front of their girlfriends, and then it's like very argumentative. And
show out in what way?
They like try to boss you around and stuff.
Almost like showing their friends that they can kind of walk you like a dog.
Yeah. And like very argumentative and stuff like that. And it just wasn't my thing. And me, when I first meet a girl and stuff like that, I give every woman the benefit of the doubt. And I'm be like, all right, I want this woman to prove me wrong. And I haven't met a woman to prove me wrong yet.
Not one.
No, not one. The one I married.
Where do they usually fail? Is there like a common thing that every woman is just getting wrong with you? every single time, or is it like a different thing
It's like
per different person?
it's like different things on my it's like different things on my what's my deal breakers. It's like different things on my deal breakers. Like if say I take a woman out on a date a few times, and if I have to remind her a couple times like to stop cutting me off, I'll finish the date and I won't even tell her that I'm not interested in her anymore, and I just keep going on a date and stuff like that. But I know like, oh, she's not she's not in my future. I say it like that because I sit here and lie, and I'll be lying if I say I'm not looking to build a future with a woman, because I'm 46 now, and even though I've been married once, I think if I date a girl, and me, I have to date a girl for a couple of years before I saying like take it to the next level, like move in, whatever like that. So I'm not really looking, but if I meet that girl, then I'm like, okay, yeah, I can have a future with this girl, right? So that, and then like this one black girl that I've been on and off with for many years, I would have liked to have a future with her, but I broke things off with her because she went to Vegas for a Super Bowl weekend and she wasn't watching the Super Bowl. That was a deal breaker for me.
Do you get like these little red flags pop off in your mind when you see a woman who clearly isn't into sports at a sporting event?
No, not. I wouldn't know she's not into sports. Like if I know her, if I know her person.
If you knew her personality, you know, like she's not watching football. She's not watching like any sort of fight. She's not watching a baseball game.
But she's there.
But she's like there, a little too close to the court, like a little too close to the cage.
Yeah.
Are you a little like,
Then you know that a guy like me will know like, oh, that's not future, but it depends on how good she look.
Yeah. Okay.
Because she could be fun, but she's not a future. But this one girl, she was the first girl I dated once my ex-wife and I broke up. And so we've been off and on for years. The only problem is she proposed to me, and I was still. It was like, I was still like, I just got going through a divorce in the beginning. I didn't even want to be in a relationship, so that's kind of like threw us off. But she was like a real good girl, sweet girl, and stuff like that. And I think that she would have made a good wife. So we become really good friends, and over the years we tried to like rekindle. But then the last Super Bowl, we was talking, we was like trying to rekindle, and she was like, "Oh, I'm going to the Super Bowl." She didn't know that I was going. I was actually going to the game. Yeah. But she didn't know that. I didn't say nothing because it was Vegas. I didn't want her to know I was going to Vegas. And then when she told me she was going, and I knew the friend that she was going with, I was like, "Why you?" I'm like, "Are you going to the game?" She's like, "No." I'm like, "Oh, okay." Then after that, I ghosted her. I stopped talking to her.
That's so crazy. I get cock blocked so easily from the people I know, like my friends, rather than OnlyFans. Like me being at a sporting event, I think is more normal to the guys that I date, so it's not a big deal. But they get so turned off when they find out who I am in proximity to, just like friendships. Like it's more of a turn off to men that I have tried potentially dating, that like I'm friends with you, than it is that I'm doing OnlyFans. Like that turns them off so much more, I think, because I'm surrounded by a lot of like masculine alpha men, and they are a little insecure. Also, it's a little weird because a lot of the guys that I've dated recently are also into fighting. They're also into like the things that I am in proximity to. They love comedy. And so now I almost feel as though I've ruined MMA and comedy for them in some way, but I didn't do anything. They just like eventually kind of backed down.
I'm gonna explain to you. I don't think it's insecurity. I think it's more of a boundary, because those guys, they know men. Even if they trust you, they know men. I guarantee you, they don't know our true friendship and stuff like that. They probably think I want to smash, and that's a boundary for them.
The internet thinks that, right?
Oh yeah, come on. Yeah. As soon as we decided to do it, I already knew that, so it's cool. And so those guys think that, like, even me, I wouldn't want to be serious about a girl who's friends with a any professional athlete or something like that, that's close friends with them. So I understand it's not an insecurity thing. It's like you hanging out with a dude that potentially might want to smash the whole time. He's gonna try to smash, and a lot of guys are patient. Did you know that?
Oh no, I know, and I purposefully stay away from men who are patient. Yeah. Only because I feel like every single time not from personal experience. Usually it's by watching my sister. There's always a guy who's kind of in the wings for a few years, and then you finally give him a chance, and he always plays the fuck out of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't, if it's past a certain amount of time, I will not give a man a chance, no matter how patient he is.
Yeah. Should I explain to the internet, or just let them keep thinking? Because you guys can cut this out now. Yeah.
Yeah. Explain to them.
Okay. See, people, they only know the part of me that I let them see.
Yeah.
And maybe they watch me on the Jackson podcast where I crack more jokes and stuff like that. Here, I crack jokes when they come and stuff like that. But one thing about me, guys, is that I would never fuck up my business. I don't do that shit. Kat and I, I liked her since the first time I met her. She's cool as fuck. She's really down to earth, and she's easy to talk to and stuff like that. And I think we have a great thing going here on Mixed Company. I ain't finna try to smash, and we can build something good. We don't know. This can probably be one of the most popular podcast shows, whatever, one day. Why I'm gonna try to smash, get rejected, and I feel like a motherfucking asshole every time I gotta come here and see her, just because I'm trying to get my dick wet. I don't do that shit. I'm a grown ass man, so I see the comments and shit that y'all be saying. I be laughing at the shit. The shit is funny, and I already expected that because people think that I have an Asian fetish, and I'm gonna tell you, in the beginning when I first started hearing it back when I was fighting in Japan and stuff like that, had me think, oh, maybe I do have an Asian fetish, because it was one point in time in my life where I was only dating Japanese girls, but it was because of the way they treated me. But then when I learned what the Asian fetish is, I figured out I didn't have it. So an Asian fetish is when you will date a girl just because she's Asian. And I've seen guys date some ugly ass Asian girls because they're Asian and they think she's hot. That's an Asian fetish, and I don't have that.
Yeah. And he's not trying to fuck me. He's trying to fuck my mom,
Oh,
which
yeah.
I won't let that happen. But thank you so much for watching this week's episode of Mixed Company. We will be back next week. Goodbye. Rampage, stay away from my mom.
Why you gonna cock block a nigga on
Bye.
the mom? What's up with that?
Leave my mother alone.
I mean, your mom's hot.
I know.
I could be your stepdaddy.
Ugh.